Moving bits with the angle grinder so we don't chip the tiles. This is the best way to cut through tile without chipping and going fast.
So most of the commercial restrooms all have porcelain tile. Porcelain is the hardest tile that there is, and a lot of people use the wrong bits. Don't use concrete bits, it will chip the tile. Don't use spade bits, they'll burn out. There's really one type, it's the diamond hole saws. Common sizes are 1/4 inch and 3/8. For Metpar, they're gonna want 1/4 inch for all the anchors in the wall and in the floor. And instead of putting it on a drill, we buy this specific bit from SHDIA tool, which goes on the angle grinder. The benefits for that are it's perfectly straight and you have higher RPM. Because of that precision, you'll never crack a tile. What I wanted to show is after you drill your hole, how we finish it with the concrete. So we get through the porcelain, and then we finish it with the concrete drill bit so that we don't waste our diamond on the concrete. A little tape for the depth that we want. Probably should wear safety glasses. When you look at this layout, we have 110 inch and 1/4 between the walls, and then we have each component measured out. So we have a 24 inch pilaster, 36 inch door, 14 inch pilaster. So what we do is we snap a center line at 60 inch all the way across the wall, and then we can start marking the components. We put a line for 24 inch pilaster, 36 inch door, 14 inch pilaster, and then for Metpar we measure 1 inch in where the holes go to mount the pilasters. So we're 1 inch in on the 24 inch pilasters on both sides, and we're 1 inch in on the 14 inch pilaster for both sides. And that's where we drill our floor holes. So this is the floor anchor kit. They all describe their part numbers on it, and you can match it up with the instructions. Shoe clip points this way, this slides over, and then this can be screwed in. And then you grab a drill.
So on this example, I cut wood on one side, the other one no, it doesn't have wood, so I'm just gonna do a blue anchor. Yeah, I was gonna do a tackle, but it's gonna look uneven. A Phillips on the star, so I'm just gonna make a blue anchor on one side, and the other one has wood, and it's pretty tight.
With a little bit of a bow in it, you can squeeze it with your hand and get it a little more straighter before you install.
Because on the bottom should be as the brackets, should be perfect. So I just get a level with the laser and drill it.
So with the tiling right here, we're seeing a 1/4 inch gap, which is causing a further gap, not down here, but up here. So that's causing us to move the pilaster over about 1/4 inch to accommodate for that gap.
Plastic anchors are very secure. In the sheetrock, they're not. So on this build, the owner put in blocking, and we were checking the blocking. To see if it lined up with where we were gonna install, and it looks like he's just on this one gonna go in the wood. This one won't. This is where the brackets will go. So this one we're gonna put a plastic anchor or a toggle bolt. This one's gonna go into the blocking. So I'm just trying to drill the right size holes. I don't want to drill a hole in the blocking. He's marking the line for the panel brackets, the U brackets. On the drawings, it shows you where the center line is, and the center line is what he's measuring. And that's where he'll mount the U brackets. Takes 2 screws, 2 sheet metal screws. He centers it with the eyeball. So what he's gonna do is gonna fit it roughly to make sure it lines up, that he didn't do anything weird like accidentally flip it. So that's his double check before he drills any holes. So this is the same heights as the rest of all the brackets. This manufacturer wants it at 18 inch and 64 inch. Others have it at 17 and 65. Whenever we're installing the brackets and leveling it, a little bit of scuffing occurs at the brackets when they're too tight. Metpar and Hadrian, they give a little bit of touch-up paint so that you can clean that up.
On an angle first. Just making sure how is your height looking. Well, this is fine because you're not against this. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna make it level. So now you see this, we're having problems. Just you have to heat this bracket down.
This pilaster was at 59 and 5/8, and this one was in 59 and 3/4.
3/4.
3/4. So you have to adjust it to meet the same height. That way the railing.
So that's laser.
Yeah,
level.
from the laser.
Spindle and through bolts, 2 through bolts. Where is that spindle thing? Is this the kit?
Yeah.
So what about those concrete bits that you were talking about?
We go through the porcelain trowel, and then we finish off the concrete with concrete hammer drill. So if the diamond hole saw is just a little bigger and the hammer drill bit is a little smaller, it'll prevent those chips. We don't need too much depth. He did is he measured from the wall to the center. So this was 36, and then he made a line for the brackets. Center line goes in this hole, and then the hole on the side. Then he measured exactly 36 over from the center line again to mark his holes for the neck brackets so that all the panels will be mounted in the center lines.
So we know the center of the restroom is deeper down. If you put it like this, once the pressure goes down, the plastic is gonna fall down. So you see this, the cap on the top. So when the pressure goes down, it stays.
Yeah, you can see the.
Make sure I got the 12 inches on the bottom. Set it on the bottom hinge, and then I just mark the center right there.
Here's how Alex hangs the door the right way. We first measure to the top of this bottom hinge where the door will start, 12 inches. And then we can mark our holes for drilling. And then we'll hang the bottom half of the door, and then we'll worry about the top once we hung the bottom.
So there's like a huge, I feel like there's for various political reasons, but also just my own interest, but there's kind of a resurgence of younger generations reindustrializing America. There's a lot of grants floating around. There's a lot of technology advantages.
You see that?
Okay, so Alex told me that you put the crusher, one crusher at the top, crusher and a nut at the bottom.
Don't trust me.
Door.
See it in there?
Part 2.
Mark the center.
Most buildings before 2010 didn't have the ADA guidelines that they have right now, which is a 48-inch clear space in front of the handicap and space for a 60 by 60 stall with a 32 clear door. So this one would never pass modern day inspection, but because it's a remodel, we're work with the space that we have. But on new construction, that planning that the architects do would be way more spacious for the handicap. Outswing, the catch goes on the inside. If it was an inswing, we flip the catch so that the catch is on the inside. And so you can, a lot of people ask if you can flip the swing in the field. Depends on what you order, but most powder coated metal with a single catch like this, you can just flip them around, since these hinges go both directions. hook positions. When you're in ADA, you have to be at 48 inch because that's where they can only hang their coat. But on these regular stalls, you can put it anywhere that makes sense. And a couple considerations that we make is if it's an in-swing, it's good to put it on the outside because it'll be a door stopper as well for the side panels. If you put it too far in, the door stopper won't function. So always check that clearance. And then another small tip is putting it on the corner. If you hang your coat, it acts as a privacy strip too once the stall is. So I'll first start with just getting the right size. We perfectly lined up that first bracket on the pilaster. That one's straight. So now this is not screwed in yet, but I'm trying to find the level. And then I get my partner to make sure that we're lined up with the panel.